All right, so this patient's coming into Mora for implants in 23 and 24 sites. Basically, all I did was go to add implant, mandibular, chose a 3.5 by 13. And then once I press OK, I got, let's see, I got this implant right here. We'll mark this as number 26. Then all I did was, I'll turn the marker off. And I just took it and I right click on it. I like the angulation where it was. So I just right clicked and pressed duplicate. And when I duplicated the next implant, I just grabbed it and slid it over into this position, this site 23. So now we have our two implants. And we imported our model. Just going to File, import.coms, import model scan. These are just the DICOM file and stitch it together. So now what we got to do is make our surgical guide. And we have teeth. And we have this DICOM data, and nothing really looks good. So we'll go into surfaces. Now that they're meshed and it looks good on the cross-sectional CT, I'll show you guys that again. This is 23 site. Pretty happy with that. This is 26 site. They're both level with one another. We can move this one just a hair over. Move this one just a hair over. All right. And then we're okay on both cross sections, and I like this view the best. If you want to scroll through this view and look at all this like that, we'll do that for both of them. All right, so we're done with the DICOM data. We really don't need that anymore. So now let's just look at the model scan. All right, so what we'll do is we'll take this model scan and we'll duplicate it. And we'll call this one a cut. And all I did was just double click on that. And we'll turn this one purple, and we will get rid of that one. So this is the one that we're going to cut. So what you need is you need to have these guide tubes on, and I usually work from the back of the model on. So, and we'll lock out our implants so we don't accidentally move those. So you kind of have an idea. We're going to take out the 3 lower teeth, or the 4 lower teeth rather. And what we'll do is we'll turn the implants off and go into surfaces, click on the model that we want to cut, press cut tool, then press shift, and we'll extract these 1, 2, 3, 4 teeth. That's it. That's pretty much how it looks. Like that. All right. It didn't say invalid mesh, although it does look like that. We'll see if we can work up our surgical guides. We'll turn the guide tubes back on. And this is for direct cut drills, which I don't use. I would not recommend using a fully guided surgical kit because they're so huge. It's going to cut out through this canine, so you're going to have to use something smaller. We can do like a custom kit and, turn on our implants and maybe go with like a 2.1 pilot drill for each one of them. Then widen out our osteotomies freehand. Just looking at how that's coming out, that looks good. I can even remove a little bit more with the cut tool. We'll go back into services, click on this cut. Notice how I'm angling my model so I don't accidentally clip the back half off. All right, where we're at. Clip this a little bit off. I don't want that in the way of my guide tube. A little bit without getting into the canine yet. All right, here we go. So you can tell that they're coming out from the lingual aspect. And now what we'll do is we will start make our surgical guide. So we'll go into let's see, not implants, they're locked. Okay, good. We'll go into guide panel, and then we'll make sure we're on model cut guide. We'll press mandible, edit curve, or draw curve rather. And then I'll grab this tooth, tissue around here. And all I'm doing is pressing shift and swinging this around the arch. Press edit curve. And then we'll create surgical guide. Now, what I like doing is I like doing a pilot drill guide, but I also like beefing this up and make some sequential glides, which I'll show you in a second. So it takes a little bit of time to make. So there's your first guide. Not too bad. We'll turn off this. Look at it from all these angles. That looks okay. So we'll save this, and we'll call this surgical guide 2.1. Now these are going to be 3.5 millimeter implants, and the next drill size in our kit is a 2.5. So it goes 2.0, 2.5. So if you're going to do a sequential drill guide where you're going to use the pilot drill guide, the next drill, and then the final drill before implants are 3.3. So I'll show you what that looks like once this saves. So once it saves, I'll usually call this 2.1. You can go back into the guide panel and let's see, turn off this surface, turn this one on, and go back in guide panel and create edit curve. And then on our implants, instead of saying a 2.1, we'll do a 2.6 because the drill is a 2.5. So just widen these out a little bit. So, and then now you just go back to guide panel and press create surgical guide. So now you'll have two surgical guides to 3D print, a 2.1 and a 2.5. And then if you wanted to do the final drill, which is a 3.3, then you'd print a 3.4 millimeter guide. You can even print there's your next surface. So 2.6. Going back in the guide panel, again, doing the same thing. Changing our surfaces. Implants. This would be 3.4. This would be 3.4 for the 3.3 drill. Oh, I did 3.4. So, model. Get it on green for this. Edit curve again. Create surgical guide. And then what you'll do is you'll export each one of these individually. And once they're exported individual, then you can 3D print each one separately and use 3 different guides. So I'm going to save all this data because it's a lot of information. This will take some time to save. And what a lot of people like to do, or like that, they actually just like to see, is we'll call this 3.4. People like to have like an implant guide, and really the only thing you also need to do on here is change the guide sleeve diameter to the implants at 3.5. So it needs to be a 3.6. However, I'm printing with a row box, so it needs to be a 3.7. You could do a 3.6, but the threads usually catch. So it's going to be 3.7 threads of the implant. Going back into guide panel, edit curve one more time, and this is going to be our implant surgical guide for placement to make sure it's at the right angle. And that's kind of it. Save all this data, and again, you'll have each individual, all these different surgical guides, and you only have to pay one export fee, implant guide. that's it. Thanks for watching. Comment on YouTube, share, like. Thanks for watching.